You know what it is. You know who it is.
OG Lee in the house. Once again.
Once again. Hey, it's OG
Thank
Lee.
goodness. Thank
goodness. And it's OG Lee. UNDE. Old school, new school, baby. Episode 13. We back with another one.
13?
13.
13.
We in this thing, man.
That's something that people should know, too. At least how to count to 20 in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So 13, everybody knows, right?
We up there.
13.
We up there to it. And
13.
In this one, just off cam, we kind of, I was asking you, OG Lee, if you had seen the Ryan Garcia and the Haney fight, which you said you hadn't, right? Which we're gonna get to.
It's
that.
crazy, yeah. Because as a matter of fact, I didn't even know what you were talking about.
Exactly, right. We're gonna get to that topic specifically, but it made me think of a more broad topic, right? A broader spectrum of how, like, in life, right?
All right.
You have kind of like your own personal situation you have going on, which we'll say is like your world. And then within that, your world, of course, you're handling that. There's like our world, which you would consider maybe me and you, more of like, you know, loved ones around you. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, me and your world, like family members, there's another whole other outside world that I'll consider maybe even like the real world people would consider of everybody's lives going on. So I'm just thinking, like, in your world, you didn't even catch that yesterday. In the real world, that was technically kind of like a big deal. Like, everybody.
I didn't catch what?
The Garcia and the
yeah.
fight, which made me even think of the whole thing. And then I guess in our world, I happened to catch it. But what was going on in your world basically is kind of what I'm getting
that
to.
I wouldn't get to that?
Not that you didn't get to it, but just in general. You know, what you have going on.
Yesterday, I don't know what I did yesterday, man. Mm-hmm. I'm renovating over here. So I in the first part of the day, that's what I did, man. I try to do a little bit towards that project to get it done. I'm almost there. But anyway, when you talk about that, your world, our world, their world, whoever's world,
yeah,
the deal is, like, I think when I tell people about how I think about God blessing people, right? If there is such a thing, that he would look at your situation and say, I'm not going to bless you with any more until you've done, demonstrated that you could take care of what I already blessed you with, right?
Okay.
So that's how I look at the world, you know what I'm saying? Like microcosm type shit, right? You got to deal with your world first and get it together before you go to the level, you know what I'm saying? The next level, like they say, they level to this shit, right?
Levels.
Just like the society, you see somebody out here who he decides he killed somebody after he robbed him or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So then you just start looking at that. That's not the entire society, right? But where did that come from, right? And when you bring it down to that level of the nuclear family, that's probably where it started at. You know what I'm saying?
Or our, it started kind of.
Yeah, so get your world together, and then you can represent your world out to the entire society, the society to the global. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we definitely are losing in America, because shit is it's just like this fight. I don't know who this guy is, neither one of them. You know why? First of all, I don't follow fighting anymore. Boxing or whatever, was it boxing or MMA or something?
It was boxing.
Boxing. Okay. So the difference is, this is why one of these guys, or neither one of these guys, Ryan Garcia or Haney, with all due respect, they could never be an icon like a Muhammad Ali, right? Because there's too much choice out in America now. When we were coming through, if you said a Muhammad Ali fight, the whole world knew about it. Now you say Haney and Ryan, there's so much shit going on, not to mention so much athletics, so many different sports, so many different, everything going on. You look at sports channels, how many they got, commentators, analysts. It's so big now that you mention a fight and it's like, oh, who's that? Muhammad Ali was like the main fighter when I was coming along. If there were fighters, you had maybe 5 or 6 of them. Everybody knew him. Now you got all of these different kind of MMA, MSA, WBC, WB. It's so many. It's
that
wow.
Can really never be replicated then, huh?
Never, because not enough emphasis is being put on them. Yeah. Now you might get one, and of course Muhammad Ali, when he was Cassius Clay, he made a political stand by not going to Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? So he had to give up his belt, and I think he might have got paroled, so he didn't have to go to prison or whatever. I don't know if he actually went to prison, but he was convicted. Some kind of, whatever they charge you for when you don't want to go in.
So that was on top. Boy, if they had social media back then, he would have been going crazy.
But no, people knew him for that. That was his, people knew him for that because that was before he was, he always talked shit, but he wasn't as famous and going on shows and all of that stuff. At first, he was ostracized for not wanting to go. Then after a while, he became the nation's, champ damn near, especially for black people. Then, of course, right after that, he turned to a Muslim and became Muhammad Ali. But anyway, if he was fighting, or any of the heavyweights, because that was the main weight class back then that used to get all of the play.
Yeah.
So,
big heavy hitters.
But if you, like now, if you tell me Ryan Garcia, I don't know what weight class, I have no idea who he is, because there's so much out there, man. So much. I
really don't know. I think they were weighing in like 140 something. What would that be?
Maybe welter, something like that.
Welter, I don't know. I truthfully know. Not featherweight.
Maybe it's, no, I don't think it's featherweight.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know, but when I was watching it, all of the lightweight classes, not all of them, but a lot of them, the Hispanics would win. Mm-hmm. They used to be hell of a when it was down in the lower weights, the Hispanics, Mexicans and stuff like that.
Sounds like it.
But when it came to the upper classes of weight, most of the time it was black fighters. Mm-hmm. But now you got so much stuff, man. And I really don't like to watch the MMA. Because to me, that shit is just, oh man, I hate to see humans, kill each other like that. And the disregard that we give to that. Yeah. About somebody just looking at somebody, getting their head bashed in. And then if somebody says, after that beating, he had to go to the hospital and he died. Most people are going to be just like, okay, well, that's the sport he's in, whatever, just go along with it, New
age gladiator.
And it's crazy to think about that, how you conditioning people that's constantly watching that.
We love
who are not catching on to that. And that's one of the things that was our topic that we looked at, which is, are people born bad? Are people born bad and they have to keep correcting themselves to stay good within the society?
Yeah.
That's my belief.
And they're not born good and then kind of tainted along the way and made bad.
Well, just born, first of all, to be selfish. And just from that in itself, there can never be equity in the world. Because that right there, that people hide, it has to be protected. So they have to keep going after it. It's just how they, try to disguise it. Because if you put two babies together, and put some food in between them, are they gonna share?
Absolutely not.
It goes on. Life keeps going on from that. Like the last episode you were saying, could there be peace in the world? How could there be peace if there's selfishness, natural selfishness, right? The only people who are gonna survive are the people who realize they're selfish because they were born bad. And then they keep trying to do things to correct themselves, to make themselves equitable, right? That's how society has to work. Gotcha. But most people go to their natural, which is, I'm a selfish person. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wanting to deal with me. I'm not willing to put the mind over the matter. You know what I'm saying? So it's unbelievable to think how, people think outside of that when they're thinking about any issue. Not realizing, man, I'm selfish in this situation, right? So now that's being selfish,
that could,
that's the key to it.
A lot of situations.
That's the key to that. That's the key to that, man.
Mm-hmm. Taking a look at that man in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Shout out MJ.
And then when you're going to know that you're in a position where you're trying to make a decision, you literally have to factor that in. You know what I'm saying? If the thing is going to work out. Otherwise, you don't want it to work out. Otherwise, you got to factor in, man, hey, I'm selfish and I'm going to want it my way. How can I, not think that way? In other words, come to the playing field with a level head. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking any kind of way. Otherwise, you're going to think the way that things are going to be for you. And that's what our problem is. Nobody's thinking about the other person and how they feel about shit.
Making a slight could be sacrifice.
Yeah, because we're bad. And every situation, you got to go into it like that. I'm bad. I would make a decision that's counter to whatever, whatever, just for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So how could I be good in this situation? Or how could I be fair to myself when I leave here knowing? Because you're the only one that's going to know it. If you believe God or karma or whatever, for most part, you're going to be the only one who knows, right? Absolutely. So when you walk away from that, you just have to be able to ask yourself, have you done right? But yeah, that's crazy, man.
It is crazy. And before I forget about the good old word of the day.
And then, but I want to talk about too on the sports in general. And what we would do as a society without sports. What would we do? You know what I'm saying? You would have to do more constructive things. You know what I mean? Because you were saying that other episode that when we were talking about Hispanics, you were talking about how they had cash on hand from them having certain skill sets, right? So what skill sets would you get from watching sports? Which is the majority of what Americans do, right? So if you look at that, that's probably one of the different issues as far as people actually getting hands-on while people, other people do other,
watching sports.
Stuff. Yeah, you can't get no skills from that, especially if you start that as like you're 13 playing the game or whatever it is, and other people, other places are building and doing whatever, to learn skills. Yeah. Of course, they're going to have an advantage. And that's really what the different dynamic is now than it was back in the day. When immigrants came to your country, they weren't doing better than you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now they come in and boom, within a short period of time, they're doing better than the native people. A big population of the native people that's been there all their lives. So that's a different dynamic.
Some would argue that their sports watching and sports enthusiasm might be more and maybe more like enthusiastic than American people by chance.
Where now? There other places?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
but I meaning soccer?
Yeah.
In other places?
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it is, but I think other places it's like more like there's a time and a place for everything kind of thing. When it's time to do that, we're totally fanatic about it, but boom, we don't just engulf ourselves totally with that, even to the point where there's not even a game. Guess what we're doing? Gambling, shit like that. They're not that, fanatic about it as we are in America. Because it's industry. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But it takes up a lot of time to me. But yeah, so that's why I don't know about the Garcia, because there's so many people. If you tell me right now, because I don't know how many weight classes there are, right? If you tell me right now about another guy who's a hell of a fighter right now, who's a heavyweight champ, I won't know. Because then they got a light welterweight or this or that or that. So many classes of boxers, so many people. I can't keep up with that. I gave up.
And before I lose my thought, right? Boxing, welterweight, MMA, UFC, it brought to me that good old word of the day, bro.
Word of the day?
Another little
word
to put on in that bag. But just...
My bag is not too heavy yet.
It's not, bro. It can't get too heavy with these.
But look, why even do this segment, word of the day?
Because we want people's good old vernacular to be a little spectacular. Just in case they get in the jam or a cram, they might be able to scroot and scram. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Now,
okay.
This word of the day here is
that makes sense.
Gruesome.
Gruesome. Wow.
Now that one kind of short and sweet. I mean, not too fancy, but is that one that you had in your bag? Is this just a waste of words right here?
Well, you could always go over rehash. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, just to make sure things are good.
I got you. I got you on that. But gruesome, quite simply, is
grotesque. That's what I would say. That's a word I would say.
Okay.
Possibly grotesque. Just gruesome.
Those are just synonyms. I say.
Yeah.
But gruesome, extremely unpleasant and shocking, and usually dealing with death or injury. Just the word that came to mind when watching that UFC, that MMA, because my boy Haney, I know you said you didn't want to fight.
So was that MMA?
No, it was boxing, but he was taking some gruesome hooks from Garcia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, I used to love boxing. And I still like it, man, but I try not to watch that kind of stuff, man, because from the understanding I've got, is that, like I said, people are bad. You know what I'm saying? And so you try to stay away from that type of shit, because when you really think about it, we most of the time, maybe it's just me, when you watching boxing or MMA especially, most of the time, if the guy just gets beat, no blood, shit like that, no big swollen eyes and all this type, most of the time people are not really all that excited about it. But it's something about that, I mean, you can see a person, he's on the ground punching him. The guy who's fighting him, and of course the crowd, punch him more, punch him more, punch him more. Yeah. So when you just think about that, honestly, because most people don't want to look at themselves. When you think about the fact that you like that, I like when I see this guy, boom, his mouthpiece goes flying, his fucking eye swells up, his blood all coming out. When you think about that, though, this is the thing that most Americans don't want to do, according to the way he got us programmed. They don't want to look at the shit that they just say that you like that. So tomorrow when they say that motherfucker is in a coma, all you looking at is like, okay, well, when does MMA come back on and shit? Instead of really thinking about that, I like watching people get their fucking ass pummeled, blood coming out of their eyes and shit. I like that. I like looking at the sport, seeing blood all on the mat, see these two motherfuckers coming at each other, punching and kicking it. You like that. So if you like that, you got to be honest and say, that's not good in our society. That can be. No, I'm sure if there's a God looking down, he's not saying, well, yeah, that's what I want the people I created to be able to see so well with two eyes. I want you to bash one out. Huh? So you got to first say to yourself, why would I be watching this? I got to be bad.
Devilish.
Right? So then you have to correct yourself if you're trying to be right in a place where you don't want your mind to go into bad shit all the time. Yep. Like, why would I watch this? The ultimacy of it is for me to see who beats the other one. And the way the one beats the other one a lot of times is, by getting him on the ground, knocking his fucking head out to where, if the blood comes out, it comes out. I want to watch that type shit. You know what I'm saying? So the more of that shit, and just like you were saying in the other episode, how do you stop children and kids from developing and being, good adults? Stop them from watching all of that shit, man. I want to go on record as saying that shit, that most of motherfucking Americans are crazy for doing that shit and exposing their kids to that shit. And I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing that shit, man. It's stupid.
With your kids, I don't think should definitely do not.
But
nobody should.
Anything you watch, your kids are watching. Period. Because if it's something that you watching that's on YouTube, right? Most people, I'm telling you, are not watching their kids on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube has your kid going all the fucking over the place with those different channels.
You can't even be on YouTube, honestly.
You gotta watch that shit, because before you know it, they're exposed to that. And these people know that, man.
Sick game. Who are these people, bro? Do you know?
Because what are they doing? Why do you think they would do something like that? What's the ultimate goal you think that they would want to accomplish?
Control. I mean, that's what I would think.
But more than that, it probably boils down to money, at some point, right?
Come on, that makes the world go round.
So to choose money over good, is that bad? Because that's what capitalism is, right? You got some people tomorrow, they going, God damn, I need this certain thing. I got to go see the doctor. I don't have insurance. I can't see the doctor.
I think
there's millions of people in America that have that dilemma, right? So is that good or bad for a society?
Most people go money over morals, truthfully.
Is that bad? I would say yes, right? So what is it? That's another example. We're born bad. We're in a society where you have a certain skill and you're saying, hey, I understand I got this skill, but I'm not going to do it unless somebody trades me this thing we call money, that I can go and trade other things for. Material things most of the time, right? To say that I'm of a different class, right? Because that's all that's separating them. They say, hey, if I get paid more than you, what do I do? Bigger house? Maybe the other benefits in society, life insurance, this and that, but residual income, more material stuff though, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So I got this some people look at that as a sin and bad, because if it's a blessing, maybe it came from above, that you could be a cardiac surgeon or a neurosurgeon or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. And so to have that skill, like I said, what would a bad person do? And that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to charge people If your heart
Charge them out the
if
wazoo.
you get my services, if you could afford the $500,000, otherwise, shit, man, I can't get all you motherfuckers in. I can only get the ones who can pay for that shit.
Would you say that's the American way?
That's capitalism. And at some point, you're seeing the country starting to erupt in different pockets, right? Because the people they're fighting against capitalism now that everybody can't succeed, and they see it's only like a few people, right? Mm-hmm. So now they're like, shit, let's go in stores and start taking shit and whatever, you know. The society's changing. It's changing in a big way.
In a big way, man.
Yeah, so we got to see, man. One day I want to just take a look at that, how much time people spend dealing with that. So,
dealing with what exactly?
I want to see like how much time the average American spends, you know, watching sports. You know, sports to me is almost like dope, right? Yeah. When you start looking at it, and like I said, the peripherals from it, gambling and all that makes a person obsessed, really. You know what I'm saying? With that arena. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because if you didn't have that, just like if you didn't have dope, people would have to look at themselves, you know, and probably do more serious oriented things, right? Just like in the 60s, right? Black people were all militant. Then once they put dope into the community, and start diluting that, right? Because there's no motherfucker getting high, nodding out and all that. He ain't thinking about no black power. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he don't know where the dope came from. All of a sudden, he's on the shit and then nothing, you know, he ain't thinking about nothing except getting some more dope. So, you know, sports is kind of like that too. Yeah. But now, if you're good in sports, you make a lot of money, right? So more people are thinking about sports and rapping than any other kind of, you know, shit that we would consider legit. To me, that's the difference with New School. And some of them are right, where they could actually feel like I could make some money doing some shit where I don't need no college or no type of shit like that.
Just
I don't
go
need
for that full-fledged.
Yeah, whatever it is. And with sports, man, I'm really surprised. That's why, you know, it helps people. Because like I'm talking about these two boxers I don't know. They're millionaires, I'm sure. In their own right, got nice houses, nice cars. You don't know who they are. Right? You could see him in the airport, perhaps. Mm-hmm. I don't even know who this person is, but everybody's, hey, can I get your autograph? Oh, who is this? Another millionaire in America. You know, so it happens with sports and usually entertainment. And that's what, you know, really indirectly we control, you know, as black people. We control the characters, but somebody else is pulling the strings.
Puppeteer up there.
Yeah, but that is the one way that a young person could look at, you know, their future and say, that's what I'm going for, because it seems like it's easier to do that than anything
like,
else.
How would you not look at it like that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's in your society. The only way you could is not look at TV and type social type stuff. Then it would be a total different world. But as long as you look at that, it's no telling what you might could be. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really thought about OnlyFans or fans only or whatever it is, right? They start thinking now once they do that, it's always got to be a new idea that stems from, you know, that comes from that, right? So it just keeps going and going and going and evolving. And sometimes it's something that, well, most of the time in America, it becomes something that can make money. Because once you get enough eyes on something, if nothing else, people start saying what? It's time to do advertising. Yeah. Then if you do the advertising, well, you got to pay us to advertise on this platform and blah, blah, blah. And it keeps going, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah. It's an interesting society to live in when you're doing good.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, advertising, it is thing on this platform right here where you can help us advertise, right? Where you could it don't even cost anything. That's the best part about this. You could just comment, subscribe. Just let us know you rocking with us, man. We got Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, X, Insta, all the audio platforms. Man, you can go listen if you don't want to look at us. But it's old school, this new school, man. We're going to take us a little woo-wah, a little woo-saw, a little kumbaya. And we're going to be right back with you, baby. Hold tight. Hey,
so we back?
We back, man. We are back. Hopefully y'all handled y'all's business. We did what we needed to do, man. But yeah, we back, right?
Yeah, most of the stuff we say off of this, we can't say on, I guess.
On and off. No, man, it just depends, man. We where were we? Oh, in the break we were talking, man. It is Sunday, of course, right?
Yeah, hallelujah.
And people go to church on Sunday, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
but myself, sometimes other people, they get a little disconnected, I guess could be a word, uh, in the church when it comes to kind of the financial aspect of it. Like I said in a previous episode, maybe if the church somehow were like a financial institution for its members, or something like that, because just kind of the accountability of the finances in the church, I think, is a kind of a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Even aside from the worship and all that goes on in the church.
Yeah.
How does the old school feel about that? Was that even a thought? Like, do people consider that even, do you think? Or how does that work, you think? Or just all thanks be to God?
Yeah, it's interesting to see the evolution of church, for instance. From my perspective, not to mention, I guess, from way back when. Because at some point, a lot of black people didn't even have nowhere near the middle class status that they have now, right? So every church damn near was humble and kind of meager, and money was not a major issue. You was actually going to church to praise God. But
Praise God.
as, the capitalism got into our sector, more and more people started putting that issue onto church, as far as everything. The clothes you wear, the magnificence of the church, just so many different issues in the church other than now just praising God, and it, like everything else, there's levels to this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So then you started having this church, and you look, whoa, the fucking choir's got 125 motherfuckers with gowns and all, doing praise dance. And it's so much different shit has changed, man. From when it was just usually a small church within a community type of a thing.
Small little nuclear. But in the church thing, is there, because I am naive, honestly.
Me too, man. Believe it or not.
Of it. But is there like a monthly, like somebody does the books, or
what, the
is it
church?
just 1, 2, or 3 people kind of handle the financing, or?
I imagine the church is pretty much done like a business. You know what I'm saying?
Different
most churches have a board.
Members?
What do you mean different accounts for different members?
Like they keep books on like particular, I guess, members of the church. Don't they pay certain dues, or is it like that? Like I'm saying,
now I guess some churches might do that, be that intricate. But I thought that not everybody, well, I know not everybody does tithes like that, where they put it in the envelope and give it to the church. Some people just give theirs in that cash like that. And I'm sure the church gets a lot like that. So I don't know how they do accounting as far as every member, but I think they do that, because I think for the members it's tax deductible, even though the church, is not charged any kind of tax. So I guess they really could do I don't know, but I guess they could do their finances all willy-nilly or whatever. I don't know. But I do know now that you mentioned that.
Me being a finance major, bro.
Yeah. I do remember, though,
I'm curious
how my mom used to get these envelopes. Seems like back in the day. Because there are people because if you were part of the church, I guess they expect your money, if they're doing right, to go towards things in the upkeep of the church, the pastor's salary,
just
maintenance and shit like that.
Just like you can't just, our previous half bag of chips. Where else can you give money to, and you have literally, I guess, other than taxes, which this is non-taxable, where else can you give your money and you have, no idea, not a receipt, no.
Now, as far as like if you say that the IRS would want you to have a receipt from them, if you're going to claim it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as the church, they good.
Yeah. So there is, if it would be on your taxes, there will be a receipt that obviously the church
that
provides.
You could get. I'm almost certain you can get something from the church. Just like if you went, if you went to and gave your stuff to Goodwill, you know what I'm saying? They can provide you a receipt so that you can use that, as a some kind of tax credit or whatever. But
interesting.
Yeah.
Literally no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
We's free. We's free. Thank God Almighty, we's free.
Hey man, I couldn't
shout out, man. Shouting out to the Palestinians, shouting out to the
Free
Russians,
Pally,
shouting
man.
out to
Free
the
Pally.
Ukrainians, shouting out to everybody who's
Shout
at
out-
war.
shout
Shout
out
out
to
to the
our
Haitians,
Come
man.
on, all of our pals, all of
And
our
some
allies.
people said, man, that, you know, I read it. They was like, man, why are you saying any? Not me, but they were saying in general. Why are you saying, you know, this about the Palestinians and all that? They ain't never gave a shit about no black people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, shit. Shout out to all of them, man.
You can
Going
feel-
through
you
that
can feel
type,
that
that
pain.
war type shit. Shout out, man.
We empathetic over here at Old School, New School, man.
Yeah, because people putting them people in harm's way and they ain't got nothing to do with it, man.
Mm.
Crazy type shit, man.
And you know how New
But
School
we's
do.
free Sunday morning too. Easy like a Sunday morning.
You know how New School do. We talking about all this.
Damn mind crusher.
Oh my!
I see that shit in
Oh,
your hand.
mind
man.
crusher.
I saw the smoke.
We talking Pally, Haiti. I don't know if we said Iran, but hey,
Pally.
Then we switch.
Shout outs to Pally. Yo, watch that bomb.
Chill out, man. Chill out. Okay, but this right here is a good old mind crusher. A hot button shower question. This one is titled right here. We switch it up 180. Do
Hot
you
shower
think
button.
it is ethically, spiritually, and hygienically acceptable to go pee in the shower?
No, man. I don't think. Did you see that little dude that was just right there?
Which guy?
It's a little
Just
fly.
ran across?
Man. He's a little fly. He comes around. And
That's a
so that's the number one reason why I don't want flies and shit. I mean, piss and shit, right? Because of flies. That's the main reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hygiene on that. But that made me think, man, because we were talking about Sunday and talking about church. So a lot of times you always hear God made everything, right? So I noticed there was a fly, seriously. You might see him again. He came and he set his ass right up on the computer right here, right?
How dare he? Yeah.
So in terms of who he is or she is and who I am, right? What was the interaction right there? Because if it's a fly, right?
He just
It
kinda
knows it
shit
could
on
have
you a
been
little bit.
anywhere.
Yeah.
But it came and perched his ass right up here, right? So what was the deal with that? If that fly is like you or me, right? We don't know that he's not dealing with his things within his world like we are in ours, right? What did he say?
I think he gave you kind of like a little fly-by, drive-by, like F you a little bit, I would say. Kind of shit on yourself and kept it pushing.
You're going to see him again because I see him around here. But I'm always wondering that when I see flies, I'm like, you got all the places you could be. But for some reason, you want to be like right over here where I am. And shit flying on my shoulder, my this, my that, or whatever, right?
How dare he?
Because all those things are real, right?
Yeah.
So when he goes back to his family or his homeboys in his community, what he gonna say to him about what he saw right here? But over here by me. And
He
whatever.
was gonna say, "Hey, bro." He gonna say, "Hey, man. I just flew into some fly cats, bro. I think OG Lee."
See, he's right there.
OG
He's right there on
Lee,
your hat right now,
UNDE.
right? So he's like, yo,
Look,
of all the places,
I'm shouting him out. That's why he rocking with
That's
me,
why I'm
bro.
saying, like, would they be communicating something, right?
Yeah.
Because he could have been in all kinds of places, but for some reason he wanted to be right on your
He's
head.
right here with us. He heard me talking about that, but he's like, "Hey, I ran into OG Lee and UNDE, bro, and they got this old school, new school. I think he only lives for like a day or something. They say so. Hopefully he'll make it back to let him know. But bro, is it hygienically, spiritually? You said it's a no-go. Peeing in the shower is absolutely no.
What, peeing in the shower?
Acceptable.
Like if you in the shower, using the shower?
Yeah.
Well, if you have to piss, and it's that urgent, I don't know how long you've been in the shower, but the urgency should have been, before you got in the shower. So you're like, oh, let me piss before I get in the shower. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's one of them things where if nobody's fucking looking, I'm sure people pee in the shower, wash it off and think, no harm, no foul.
I'm peeing in the shower.
So,
absolutely, bro.
That's one of those things that if you're gonna tell somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Ethically, I'm here for it. Hygienically,
Who gonna know though?
exactly. And if you get a jellyfish sting, you can pee on your arms, right? So it's like some kind of disinfectant, something that happens with it. Not that you're peeing on yourself. I'm straight down the drain with it, so that's even less.
But you know what,
gross
man? From a medical standpoint, right?
Uh-huh.
If you saw somebody like, and they were suffering from a heat stroke, their temperature is so high.
Where are we going with this already?
This is real shit. Their temperature is so high that if you don't
Pissing
have
on them
anything
will
else to
benefit?
cool them down, pissing them off will not hurt them. It'll benefit them.
Old school in these arguments.
No, this is in AMA type shit, man. You learn that in
R. Kelly
the
shit.
military, man.
Yeah.
That urine would be cooler than their body temperature. But
trying to get
most
R.
people are
Kelly
not
out.
thinking about that because they don't think they're gonna be in a desperate situation. But if you in the military, before you know it, motherfucker got you somewhere fighting. You know what I'm saying? Especially how it used to be like Vietnam in the fucking jungle.
Yeah.
You have to, desperate
going
times
down.
require motherfucking desperate measures. But yeah, they used to teach you that. Speaking of urine, but no, there's no pissing in the shower unless somebody's watching. If somebody's watching, then what do? Piss on them.
I think somebody's watching you shower. It could be a little.
Could be your spouse, whatever. Some people in them, I guess that's why they got to that whole thing about golden showers. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they turned on by people pissing on. You know what I'm saying? We live in a crazy world, man. So to me, the least of my worries would be if I pissed in the shower while I'm showering. Shit, because I don't know. But what is it that would turn you on about wanting somebody to piss on you?
Some people are
Free R. Kelly, by the way, man, because I don't know, man. I never saw the video. I never saw the video. Nigga can sing his ass off, though.
Yeah, he could. You think he in there singing for putting on concert every Friday probably and shit?
It's probably like
Honey Buns and Yum Yums?
Man, it's probably just like out here. You got to pay to get in to see him. You know what I'm saying? A certain amount of people pay this much for a ticket. This motherfucker, he over here guarding the door. You know what I'm saying? Because they're letting the inmates run what's in there. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly's a star in there. They're leveraging him for money in there. I guarantee you. That's just a typical type of economy that you would think about. This motherfucker over here could sing. People want to hear him sing. Man, we're going to charge these motherfuckers to hear him sing. Unless they got him in solitary confinement or whatever.
Then he's just bellowing loud through
Hey,
you can hear him through.
I guarantee you this.
I can fly.
If they got R. Kelly in solitary confinement, that motherfucker gonna have a hit called 23-1. I guarantee you, boy, because you be lonely like a motherfucker in solitary confinement, boy. He sings lockdown 23 hours out one. He sing his main motherfucking hit is gonna be 23-1. I guarantee you.
Oh man.
That nigga can sing his ass off though.
Do we have time for another mind crusher?
Let's do another one, man.
I got one for you. This is just off the top.
Cause peeing in a goddamn shower. What is that?
We're gonna sign them out with this one.
That's one of them that if you had a lie detector test, you know what I'm saying? Most people probably would be found guilty of peeing in the damn shower.
Oh man,
you know
I'm guilty.
And you know why it is? Because I said you should pee before you get in the shower, right? But if you ever went in and had to give a urine sample, sometimes you couldn't do it. They said, man, run some water or something like that, right? Because that kind of, for whatever reason, psychologically, so it's probably the same way when you get in the shower. Mm-hmm. Oh, here comes the water. Oh, damn, I'm going to add something to it, So, yeah, I have pissed in the shower before. I can't lie, man. I can't lie.
But this mind crusher right here, right? A good old...
But why would somebody want to know some shit like that?
Just pick your psyche a little bit. Something you never
to see what
about.
If he did that, then he might do this. He might do.
See, no Diddy. That's what you.
No Diddy. That's what Jay-Z said. I might do this, but that about it. You know what I'm saying? So when you say that, then you be like, I might do this, but that about it. You know what I'm saying?
No Diddy, man. Chill out, old school.
What's that shit mean, no Diddy? Because I'm old school. What's that, no Diddy?
Just like, modern day pause.
A modern day pause from the thought?
Yeah. Yeah, we can go for that, yeah.
If I was Dilly.
Thank you, man. That's what you call them.
No,
y'all got a relationship from
I was going to say Diddy and Russell, and I thought about them at the same time. But I was going to say if I was Diddy, I would have tried, man. I'd be like, damn, I should have did like Russell Simmons, got my ass out of here.
We'll go to Bali.
Wherever. But they said my man Russell right now, he going through some shit. Shout out to Russell Simmons. I saw somebody
talking about like his daughter was dating like this older.
His daughter came out on something. I was flowing through on something, and his daughter was talking she was talking bad about him, man.
Not giving her any money type of deal.
Yeah, like he's always been this real. And his wife, Kimura or whatever it was, or is. She was talking kind of bad about him too, man.
I
Not
feel-
that I guess he didn't deserve it. In other words, they were saying we the motherfuckers who've been living around him.
I bet the
y'all been
list-
getting that 5-minute celebrity shit. We've been living around this motherfucker. And
Yeah.
she was using some hell of an adjectives to describe this motherfucker.
Internally, I feel like the lisp would kind of piss him off a little bit, probably.
The list?
Yeah, his lisp. It's kind
Oh,
like when he's talking, he probably gets a little pissed off
when he
people
gets mad.
Yeah. Or just in general, it's kind of in his head, like he knows he has this. Kind of like an ongoing kind of.
But he didn't let that shit stop him from making a lot of money because you do still don't, even though you don't know the intricacies of his life, he is still considered a mogul in rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which a lisp would really piss him the fuck off. All this money I made, and
Shit, Mike Tyson always had a lisp. Well, who the fuck's gonna start saying something to Mike about his
he
lisp?
got fucking mental problems and shit too. I'm trying to tell you.
Man, it's that money, the way it come to you, and then when you think about it, I don't know who it was though, and I'm gonna stop here, man, because it just goes on.
Hold on. Before this, sign us out with that. Hold
They were
it.
giving some names of some people who have been compromised that way, and giving names out. I'm like, whoa, him, because when you do something like that, man, you opening yourself up. So that means you know something, and that person, if they ain't coming forth, they're like, I don't even want to mess with that because I don't want this can of worms. You know what I'm saying? But I was watching that and it just comes up. Maybe
don't bring any names. No names.
No, I'm not.
Next episode.
I'm not going to even bring no names of other episodes because some people I saw that they were talking about. I'm like, this guy like was playing a cop and shit like
next
that.
Episode.
And so to say that's like the come on, man.
You gotta come with two that surprised you, bro.
But no, I'm not gonna do no names, man. Because wow, it's too like. Because if they said that means they know that for sure. Otherwise, you'd be opening yourself up. Their name, telling exactly who was doing them. It's like, oh my! I had to. It gave me a total. It gave me a total different impression of the person after that. I'm like. Really? He needed a loan and he went and did that? Oh, damn.
Okay, this one right here. MINDCRUSHER. A good old MINDCRUSHER.
No. This is something else I got to bring up, though.
What is it, bro? It better be good, too. It better be good, too.
If you a man, right?
Uh-huh.
And you decide.
I want to hear this.
No. Because I saw the guy who was saying this guy got compromised, right? But he was saying it was a loan. He did it for a loan.
Oh, man.
So, like, you mean to tell me you're going to let that happen to you and then you still owe a motherfucker?
That's bad.
Oh, my goodness, man.
That's worse than student loan debt.
If I'm going to do something like that, at least I'm going to say, yo, my shit has got to be worth you paying cash on the line.
Yeah.
You got to be cash on the line.
OG Lee got
you can't violate me and then I owe you.
No Diddy.
Oh, man.
Diddy gonna come and find us after
That's
this one,
even
bro.
crazier, man. You violate and then I owe you because what you going to do is spend the money, be broke again. You still owe me. You still owe me for violating you. That's crazy. But yeah.
That top down. Chill out, bro.
So yeah, I'm getting ready to go to church after this.
Yeah, you got to, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, bro, man.
I got to get cured of this cryiness. I told you, man, whenever I laugh, man, I cry. You know that, man.
And I don't know if this MINDCRUSHER right here is going to help any.
Why do you do this, man? I want you to tell the people. Give them a little insight about you. Tell them why you do this.
Me, I like to just be posed with things I just never thought about, and I just know I've never ever thought about this before.
I'm talking about the overall production, not just the MINDCRUSHER.
Oh, not just the MINDCRUSHER. Oh, this right here, man. If y'all ain't know, this 13 episodes of therapy happening right here. This man got cryitis. That's just a little bit of that old school, new school fluids. You know what I mean? Come up out you sometimes, bro. They gotta happen, man. If they didn't come out, bro, they might come up in you, and you might be letting them out in the shower or something like that where you don't want to. You feel me? Now, this right here is the MINDCRUSHER. They call this one, bro. Stay with me too. Don't cut me off after the title, bro. Kentucky Fried Orphans. Now, this one is, what kind of music would the band Kentucky Fried Orphans make? What you think? What genre are they going for?
Kentucky Fried Orphans.
I'm thinking.
You know what is weird?
Yeah.
I would say Kentucky would be damn near synonymous with country and western. But what I've been so surprised about, man, is when they do these documentaries or whatever, and they go to these different places, and they show you what's going on in that place, and you're like, damn, I didn't realize they was doing this shit in Kentucky. You know, because I guarantee you, you go to Kentucky and you find some spots, you be like, oh, they doing this in Kentucky? I thought they only did that in New York and L.A.
Like
and shit
what,
like
for
that.
example,
One of them is like, you know, with gangs are and shit like that.
Oh, okay. I'm picking up.
That's just one of the aspects.
So,
even rapping, a lot of people would say, "Boy, shit, you didn't know Mo Blah Blah from Kentucky? Boy, that nigga's hot and blah blah blah." You know, even that kind of aspect with rapping and all that type of
so
shit.
old school, you thinking Kentucky Fried Orphans might be kind of like a rap group? Possibly.
No rap, nothing whatsoever with rap.
Okay. I was getting a little confused.
But that would be something to have somebody comment on, because the last time I asked about the price of Newports. If you looked at that. My man Schick, he answered and said, that's my homeboy, by the way, but he answered, shout out to Tommy, man. So he answered that packs of Newports are $20 a pack.
And how many come in a pack again?
20.
So $1 a box?
So we asked people in Kentucky, man, let us know about some of the fire rap groups and shit, man. I like to hear the new things coming along just to see where their mind is at. So 20 come in a whole kind of like carton type of deal? No, 10 packs come in a carton if you bought the carton. So the carton would be 20 times 20, be looking at like $400 or something like that. But a pack has 20 cigarettes in it.
It has 20 C's in there, so you get a...
Yeah. So you ain't buying no Lucy like we was saying, or like I was saying for $1. You know what I'm saying?
You just breaking even.
Yeah.
But
that's some hell of a shit, boy. That shit make you want to quit.
Come on, Kentucky Fried Orphans. I was thinking
Kentucky
off the top,
Fried Orphans.
I'm Screamo.
It's some seed.
I'm thinking like,
get Beyonce involved with this shit. Maybe this is a new thing for Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Because she's breaking into country and western, right? So Kentucky Fried Orphans and shit.
Interesting. So you thinking kind of country? I'm thinking more like hardcore death band. I love my mom and we're gonna eat the.
That is, man, the difference in music across the races, man, is unbelievable.
They love it though, bro.
Man, because you could listen to stuff and you'd be like, and I was listening to all praises due, but Taylor Swift. I was listening to something they said because she just released the album and then she surprised them by releasing another one that had, I think they said like 31 songs on it. Ooh. And I was like,
Swift.
How many motherfuckers just come out and just write 31 songs? And then I start listening to some of her lyrics on a couple of them, and I was like, she's basically just saying some shit in a situation she was involved in.
I want to be my mother's daughter.
Because I don't care how bad she is. Yep. She's not prophetic enough to put out no 31 motherfucking records that everybody loves in a lifetime, much less in one fucking album. Get out of here. That's no artist just creating no 31 fucking songs just like that. Get the fuck out of here. But
don't hate on
people,
Swift, bro, before the Swifties come.
Whoever is with you is just people who happen to, be rocking with you. And that can happen. And then, boom, just like that, people could be like, oh, I ain't rocking with that person no more. So it's whoever you can get to rock with you. If you can get 20 million people all over the world to say, oh, yeah, Taylor Swift. Right now, Taylor Swift could sing about anything. And everybody, oh, Taylor Swift, just because she put it out. So that's just like, okay, if you're down with that kind of magnetism or whatever, great. But I'm just saying, to just put out, boom, a album that's got 31 songs on it.
What you talking about? So
that's like you writing a song when you shitting or whatever. So that many songs you coming out with just in one album?
And they love them all, bro. You better respect
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't take that much to love that Taylor Swift
So when
shit.
we putting our album out, bro?
Man, hey, once we could get Taylor Swift to fucking co-sign some shit for us, this way we could just, right now, I'm talking with my son and we're in the studio. You can whatever.
School.
He trying to talk about Swift. I ain't feeling that. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? You could be, man, come on.
Nah,
right now you don't think.
Don't disrespect T Swift like that.
I'm not disrespecting her. I'm just saying, like, when you think about some of the greatest producers of all time. None of them have 31 songs really under
So
their
put
belt.
some respect on her name, bro.
No, I'm
Old
saying
School?
that everything that as it goes along, it gets diluted. It gets diluted. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying?
This is kind of, we starting where we ending kind of where we started at, right?
Well,
You was talking about Muhammad Ali and not so many greats that he was able to compare to. Now look,
right, because of so much choice or whatever.
and she got all
So,
these choices.
I'm
out
not
here,
saying
bro.
she's not a
And
good singer and all that. I'm
now
just saying.
give me look. Check this out. Give me 3 Taylor Swift songs.
I don't know 3
Exactly, but
I
you know
might,
she dropped 31 songs on her last.
But I know
album,
this.
bro.
I know this. If I hear some of them, I might say, "Oh, okay, that's her song." I didn't know that was Taylor Swift. Like I said, there's so many artists and all of this shit. But the point is, of those 31 songs, I mean, if I listen to them, if I listen to 10 of them, I guarantee you right now, it's not like some.
Damn.
You know,
so you guaranteeing something you're not sure of, bro.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, because music is diluted now.
That's
For
some old
somebody
school
back in the
stuff
day
right
to
there.
say, hey, I got 31 songs I'm releasing on an album. At one time, most people would say, how much time and really thought did you put into writing that?
You should.
You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the lyrics, you could see why. It's like, and I'm sure I'm overreaching like always, but I guarantee you those Taylor Swift lyrics, most of them are like more geared to somebody like in Cloud fucking 9 or something like that.
Bro, hey,
all due respect to her, because my main thing I want to say about that is I could appreciate her being able to get that many people no matter what. She goes to fucking Japan and gets all these people, you know what I'm saying? So she got something, no question about it. And the main thing is that she's able to get all these people to latch on to what the fuck she's doing and pay her to fucking do it.
We gonna listen to some Taylor Swift, bro.
Well, we can listen to some. The thing is, I'm gonna say, I'm sure she's got some decent music, but from what I heard so far, it was like sitting down and just writing about what went on, like in that particular situation,
Look,
and put some music to it.
I haven't heard it. You haven't heard it, bro.
I heard some of her previous shit, like I said, and with all due
Now,
respect,
I know a
she's
couple
married to the
girls
hell of a top football player, or did they get married yet, or whatever? Anyway, so all of that's going.
Bro. You're a Swiftie.
Because they had that on the main screen during football when they were supposed to be really paying attention to the fucking football game. They were saying all this shit. So of course I remember that.
She on your head.
No. But you know what? Just like they were saying, we were talking about the Iowa game, to go back a little bit. They had Gail King, where they was talking. She had made the comment that how everybody was going for the whole Iowa win and rooting for Caitlin Clark. And, you know, everybody was like, wait a minute, that's not what
You said that, Gail.
Shit. But, you know, they said they were canceling their show. Not because of that, but her and Charles Barkley. And see, that's an example of when you're doing something and you seem like it's kind of popular and you say, hey, let's just run with it. Because Charles Barkley's popping, commercial, whatever. Gail King, I guess, got that connect. Let's try it, see if it works. If it doesn't, boom. Just like that.
Cut it off. Hey, but you know what we gonna do, bro?
What we gonna do, man?
Next episode, we're leading in with, we giving 2 Taylor Swift songs to listen. 2 to 3, bro. And we gonna see how we feel. I don't know if it compares. You don't know what we gonna say.
But I can say this right now. We ain't gonna listen to the whole song.
No, definitely not.
For sure.
Definitely not.
I don't care if it's 2 minutes. I don't want to listen to the whole song.
We're giving a slight listen.
But
just a slight listen.
We'll do something like check out what the introduction says. You know, listen to a little bit of that. Go to the meat of it in the middle, and then go to the conclusion or whatever.
Or we might
We'll just see. But anyway, on it, we'll listen to them. And like I said, I think I'm gonna come up with the same conclusion. Very talented person, her or whoever, hell of a marketer. You know what I'm saying?
Top notch.
Hell of a talent. Because if if I listen to 31 of her songs, I'm sure I'll probably like 2.
31 songs is crazy.
I sure I'll probably like 2 of them to just say, oh, wow, and I would like to hear that. Just with nothing going on, I'd like to put that on. But although I even doubt 2, but maybe 2. But that's a hell of a lot of songs, 31. So how many songs does she have in her catalog?
Yeah, I'm thinking how we gonna choose which ones.
Because she was coming out with an album and then gave him a surprise of an album, I think, with 31 songs. How many songs does she have in the catalog?
We might need some
That's
help.
my point. Shit.
Y'all shoot us the bangers, bro. Y'all give us the bangers.
Because
But,
she's
hey,
like being put on there like John Lennon or somebody.
like a god. She's like a god out there. Hey, but it's old school,
John
new
Lennon
school.
ain't no God, man. Yeah, man, you know what it is.
UNDE, OG Lee,
Yeah.
Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, X, Insta, audio. Give us a
Hey,
listen, bro.
and I need you to do your research to bring me the top 3 Taylor Swift songs. Don't bring all
Of
that
all
old
time, or
bullshit.
just on this album?
No, well, we
gonna
don't know the
reach the
top
album,
3 on her album yet. Do you know that they already had the thing about the top 3 or how they playing them or
usually have
whatever?
them ranked on how they get listened to. But we see
But
we coming back with
let's
a little
go with
Swiftie.
let's even go with the past. You know what I'm saying? That you do the top 3 that anybody would know this is Taylor Swift type
Throwback
shit.
bangers. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
some research. Hey, y'all give me a little help. It's old school, new school.
Yes, sir.
UNDE OG Lee, baby. We